Here we are. It's October 9th, Thanksgiving. I'm coming around the western side of our house. Got the beans up here that have been shading the house in the hot western sun. Just walking in here. I'm gonna go check out what Gord's doing at the cob oven. He's making some bread. Taking it to Thanksgiving dinner tonight with family. Here is our very special apple tree. Not any old apple tree, because it's a very special one for us. The spot where it's planted is where we actually manufactured our entire house. Where we manufactured the walls, the floors, the insulation, the paints, the plasters, even some of the furniture. It's all manufactured right there. We used a rototiller and mixed up all the earthen materials right there. Natural plasters, natural paints, homemade everything right here in that one spot. It's kind of like our front yard litmus test. Normally when people build their house, they have a dumpster on site where they dump all their toxic materials and garbage into it, and then the container is shipped away to a landfill somewhere. And that landfill gets dumped in someone else's backyard, and eventually it could leach out into future generations, into their water source, into their environment. So for us, we didn't have a dumpster on site. Instead, we manufactured everything out of non-toxic materials right here in this spot. And we're able to plant a very special apple tree there. And we get to grow food. We actually had our very first apple this year. One apple, and we split it 6 ways. Fortunately, it wasn't quite ripe yet, but it's going to be a great apple. These are Shenango strawberry apples. We bought this tree from Salt Spring Island just as a little twig a couple years ago. So it's absolutely thriving in that hole. Which goes to show it's not a toxic spot. Now, check out what Gord's doing over here. We've just had a fire in the cob oven this morning and he's mopping it out. Always wondered if that mop was going to come in handy. The idea is clean out the coals, put a bunch of moisture into the cob oven, and then when he puts the bread in, it gives a really good hard steamy crust on the bread, which is that really good earth oven flavor that you always imagine with the European loaves of bread, using an earthen oven. Are you ready to put it in there, Gord?
I think so.
A little bit more water gets tossed in. Got our bucket of coals steaming because we scooped them out. There goes the bread, the sourdough bread. Oh, that's going to be so good tonight. It's kind of like a potluck family Thanksgiving dinner we're having tonight. So it should be really good. And we put the door in there and it seals it all in there with that humidity. Right now it'll be forming that most amazing of all crusts. Thanks for making the bread, Gord. Can you start the timer? Sure glad you fixed that timer yesterday.
It's because it's mechanical.
It's mechanical, you could actually fix it. Oh, there you go. How long do you think it'll be?
Well, probably 15 minutes until it's cooked.
Yeah,
Minutes
look at
until
it
it's burnt.
steaming away.
We'll take a look at it in a few moments.
That'll be good. There's another peek at our very special tree. The litmus tree in our front yard. Shows that our front yard is not toxic. And there's the dog having a nap.
Look at the steam coming out of there now.
Ooh, I'm gonna... Wow. Well, part of that's from that bucket of coals, but... Yeah, just wish you could get close enough to smell it. Mmm, can't wait.
Well, I think that the cob bread is ready. Parker's just going to pull it out. We'll take a look at it. How's it smell, Parker?
Smells good.
It's good. Wonderful. Well, I would say there is our bread for Thanksgiving dinner. You gonna eat all that bread, Parker?
Not all of it.
Is it done, Gord?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll have to feed somebody and see if they die.
Oh, we got another one in there. There it is.
3.
Wow, look at those crusts on those things. You gonna put the casserole in?
Sure.
We got a little rack to sit it on so it doesn't get too hot.
Just going to put those in there.
Left those coals in there just a little bit more heat.
Probably put the rest of the coals in there too, but
Ah, it'll be fine. So there's the casserole going in. So we've got it sitting on just a little square rack. See if I can show that. There, move your head. There, sitting on a rack in there. And we'll put the door back on. It's probably about, what, 325 in there, you think?
300.
300? Just enough to finish off the bread, and then it'll stay that warm for a long time. Mmm, smells great. So you did 3 loaves in pans, and the first 3 you did was just on a flat sheet. So they're just a nice loaf. Okay, take it into the house.